For the first 5-6 years of this YouTube channel, we would always have these dramatic introductions when we did vintage magic openings, and a lot of fun. We would see what happens when people smoke and the stains on the boxes. We would see the history of the unsets of when full art and flashy lands mattered. We would see the beautiful young ladies. They're always happy to see us. We would see the Phyrexia sets with the old price stickers of representing the past. We would even find a hidden little box of Pikachus. Looks like a box of Evolutions back there with a bunch of old stuff. And of course, as time went on, it didn't really matter because people just lost interest in vintage and we just kind of stopped doing this kind of stuff, you know? So as time went on, we just kind of said, well, there's a 2010 box. Does anybody care? There's more boxes. Does anybody care? We can go down a floor to the basement, second floor basement, and we can see more old stuff, and then we'd realize nobody cares. We can go down even further. We can go -3, and we can go even further lower, and then we realize nobody cares. We can keep going. We can go to the fourth floor in the basement, and still nobody's going to care. And then we can take the elevator all the way back up, and we can even go older. I can even implode your little cabbage head into literally the guy who sells tumbleweeds to the era of 4th edition. And we can scroll. We can scroll to the right, keep looking for the hot chick. We can keep scrolling all the way to the right. We can scroll. We can scroll. We can scroll. Or we can stop. And we can open a box of Ice Age today and discuss the past and old man Rudy, the passion that got me to where I am today, and the reason we are here today, because of stuff like this. It really isn't the new stuff. This is what lured me in. This is the era that's gone. Let's have some fun, everybody. Get the bobs! Get the bobs. It's been years since we brought the bobs back, and we tickled the mustache, and we had a good time. 1995, Magic the Gathering, Ice Age, for the patron Adam P., all the way in Hillsboro, Oregon. Adam says, Rudy, look, man, I'm like you. I mean, I get the new stuff is hot. I understand what's going on. But this, ladies and gentlemen, this dusty, old, look at this. You can almost get a pack out. If we rip this a little further, we could actually get a pack out of the box. Look at the condition of this box. The seal is starting to come off. We have an old resealed with the Scalper Scanner 5000. I x-rayed it. I made sure that there are no Black Lotuses in this box. And today, we're going to open it. We're going to open it. There's no going back now. There's no going back now. And hopefully, this Ice Age box is not filled with Fallen Empire or G.I. Joe packs. The old 1995. Sit back, relax on this beautiful day, on the beautiful third rock from the sun spinning through the universe, as we look at 36 beautiful old booster packs. Man, if that doesn't bring back memories and history, I'm not sure what does. Anybody? What about Jester over here? So we're going to talk about the past. We're going to have a great time today. These boxes have a market value, probably, they peaked in 2021 with a market value of around $2,000 a box. Current market value bounces between $1,200 and $1,600. Cards inside the box are probably worth, on the low side, $100, and a high side, $500-$600 if you hit a bunch of expensive common uncommons, and you grade them and get perfect 10s and blah, blah, blah. This is a box opening of passion and enjoyment. You do not make money at this. It is what it is. So folks, just remember, everybody, I don't know if you guys remember what's what or where this is. No, there are no mythics. No, there are no foils. No, there are no rarity symbols. No, there are no card numbers. Nobody gives a shit. Number 3, Cold Snap. Oh, I'm sorry. First 3 cards in an Ice Age pack. Hey, look, he's got some on his mustache. First 3 cards in an Ice Age pack are uncommons. This is our rare pack 1. Pack 1 rare. We got Rudy's Maggots from his high school lunchbox with the world famous cumulative upkeep. Very cool stuff. And of course, we got some commons. Oh, that Incinerate hits hard. Spellcasters. We got COPs, the Flares. Oh, God, these guys. Great card, terrible upkeep. Rudy's Hand on your stepsister. And of course, we got the Dryads, the Burnt Offerings, the Lumberjacks, and the world famous Giant Growth Mosquito for our commons. The Bobs are looking at us like we're all idiots, but nostalgia flows high today. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is in a different place that we never thought it would be when I expanded this business and got into Magic the Gathering. This was the era, is the reason that you're receiving these videos and I exist on YouTube today. 3 uncommons ending with the old Thermokarst. Cool little land destruction deck. Oh my God. Pack 2. Damn, Adam. The Comb. The Hecatomb. We got the, I don't even think they would print that art today. Like, I don't even know if they would print her on artwork today. Oh my God, the Tomb. What? I'm putting that up here. Bob, on your face. He wants it on his face. He told me before we started the video. Giant, oof, COP. I love the COP in space. Am I right, everybody? Hey! Anybody? We do have one of the best commons in the set right here. We do have Mystic Remora. Do you guys, I guess I can put some of the good stuff aside. Should I? Nah, it's just comments. We got a Remora. Infamous dead over here. COP again. Foul. Lava. Guard. Snowfall. And Rudy's, is that my middle school yearbook picture? It might be. Mystic Remora is one of the better hard-hitting cards in the common slot. Can't even open this thing up. Oh, there it is, folks. The uncommon Wintry 4th Quarter Snowman. The 4-drop, which costs way too much, but teenage Rudy, I put these snowmen in my decks, little 1/1s, and when you block, doesn't do damage, and you can throw little snowballs for damage. Good stuff, man. Never a big fan of the card. I thought it costed too much. Talismans, I hated these cards. And Dwarven Armory is our rare 4-drop enchantment. The old Pump It with 2 colorless. You can sack lands and put counters on anything. I thought it cost too much, but it is a rare. In with our guides, Rudy's Seizures, Blessed Wine by myself, The Horse I Rode to School, Imposing Ex-Girlfriend, Ray of Commanding Your Mom, Rally, Legions, Minion, Head, and of course, Brownie after your head. You know, I feel like, and I hate to say this. Oh, look at this. Look, did you guys see it? Look at that. Oh, look at that. Adam, look at that. Look at that Swords to Plow. Oh, God, look at that STP right up, just peeking out. Oh, I should have done the Swords to Plowshare playmats at the Bobs today. Swords, beautiful first time out of the pack. Dance of the Dead, actually. This is actually a decent uncommon. Another great little uncommon there. Vampire, loved the art on this. Way before its time with the Twilight era. Oh, God, the Hydra. It wouldn't be Magic if we didn't have a Hydra. I used to play this in my red deck in Ice Age with my snowmen. I used to cast this thing thinking I was Mr. Hot Stuff. I'd, put the X at 4, and this thing would come out as a 4/1. Think I'm Hot Stuff. Terrible card. Super fun and flavor, though. We got Farmer Rudy from the past. Okay. Hydroblast, Pyroblast, great commons again. Nice little couple $1 commons in these set. It's kind of weird how this Shaman isn't bad. Hey, look at that. Pyro and a Hydra. Hydro and Pyro in the same pack. And a Brainstorm with a Shat. Wow. Look at the commons. Like, dude, look at the commons, man. Oh my God. That is godly. Hold on, we gotta make them face each other. Look at that. Holy smokes. How amazing is that? Like today, it's kind of weird if you think about it, right? Okay, think about this. Technically, if this is like a $1,500 box, that would put these packs at like $30, $40 a pack. Which $30, $40 a pack is crazy sounding. But in 2025, when Final Fantasy comes out, is $150 a pack. Spider-Man comes out, even after the crash, is what? $50, $75 a pack? It's so crazy to think that something that's almost 30 years old, actually, I guess it is 30 years old now, or 29 years old, is like worth less than some new thing they make. It is unbelievable. Scarab, I hated the Scarabs. Beautiful Wind Spirit. I actually like that card. Overpriced, though. Drought. Yeah. Oh, God. Time Bomb, everybody. Beautiful Miss Amy. I recognize Amy Weber's artwork anytime. I loved this card. Any of these type of mechanical steampunk gear, skeleton era stuff, I loved. I used to play with this thing. During your upkeep, you put the little time counter. One, pump it with one, tap it, you sack it, and of course it deals X damage equal to the number of time counters. Giant growth. Oh god, the mind ravel. Farmer. Dude, this art hits hard, man. In this era of AI and computer everything, this old art, man, this stuff hits, man. Oh god, there it is. Look at the commons. Even in this pack. Even in this pack. Look at this, folks. Look at the commons. Like, in these packs, like, if that is not magic right there, in one pack of commons, a Disenchant, Dark Ritual with Rudy's literally the outfit I wore to high school prom, and me trying to make my left nut grow with giant growth. Like, that is, God, that's historical. By the way, I wish you guys could smell the cards. Adam, I can smell the vintage. The old Dreams, cumulative upkeep. Scarab, I hated the Scarabs. Elder, kind of the Elf Dork 2.0. You know, you gotta cast it with 3, but it does the double green. And of course, the Knight for our rare there. Again, besides the absolutely amazing artwork, it has banding, so you know it's garbage. That's just how it was. God, look at that art, man. God, you don't see that today, man. Oh, Stone Rain. Hey, Clairvoyance, great card again. We got Rudy there trying to be cool. And Tinderwall. If you know, you know. We all played with it back in the day. Because, of course, remember the red mana thing? Dark Banishing. So, we are just enjoying ourselves. We're not burning through this box. You know, I think the sad reality is that the Goblin Mutant. It's difficult for all of us to accept that this stuff is not coming back. Rare, Mudslide. I'll be honest. Terrible rare. Amazing artwork from Brian. We got that. Brownie, Power Sync, and great artwork on the Power Sync. Ranger Flare, Limb Duel, Panic, Sextant, Spider, Foxy, Rudy, and Hanging Out in Your Bedroom. Like, we have to accept that this stuff is just, like, we're never going to see an era like this again. Like, this is just... Can you imagine Wizards printing artwork like this today? Like, that lady is gorgeous. From Margaret, this beautiful Miss Margaret over here who painted this. Look at the beauty in her eyes and the lines and the curve and the way it's like swirling her. Like, you're not even allowed to have that in 2025. Oh my God. There it is. There it is. The largest creature in Magic's history in 1995. The first 11/11 biggest creature ever. The Polar Kraken with the giant mouth in the front that Rudy could just slither inside of. And the worst drawback in history, cumulative upkeep of destroying your own lands. Well, I guess of land destruction, if you have some sort of land bring from your graveyard, I guess maybe that wouldn't be a terrible card. I guess in today's standards, but back then. Elves. Land of War Elves, different name. I don't know why they changed the name. Maybe so you could have more playsets in your deck. Incinerate. Looks like it's a Meteor Shower. Love the art. Hated. Double X casting. That's garbage, man. There's Rudy grabbing your stepsister again. And we got the healer there. All right, we got to put the pull. God, we are getting some good stuff, man. Oh, God. What are the other? None of these are the major hitter, but these are iconic so far. Those two are super iconic cards. Super iconic cards. What is the actual most expensive card in Ice Age now? Needles. Whistle. Terrible card. And strong. The Cabal. There's so many old Magic cards, ladies and gentlemen, that are special. They're weird. They have no power level, but they're alluring. Like 99% of you all watching this video right now have probably never even seen this card. 3-drop 2/2 Knight. Tap it. You can pump it. Pay a life to counter a white spell. Like, what a weird card that no one's ever talked about or used or anything. Frenzy. God, look at that sword swipe with the blood. I remember that. And how many kids in the 90s played with this stupid wall? And the amount of my friends that would attack me with a wall and me trying to explain to people that even though it has a power of 7, it can't attack. that conversation I hate. Ooh, Hell from Beyond. Or Earthlore, used to like that card. Was always something. Hey! Mountain Goat. The 1/1 Rudy the Goat. All the way back in 95. What a moment, Adam. Anyways, everybody, thanks again for watching. I'm not shilling or pumping you guys with anything today. We're not selling anything. I'm not pumping you with Rudy's Patreon. I'm not telling you to thumbs down and twirly bird and run in circles. You can do whatever you want, but we're just having a good time today, everybody. We got the Talisman, the Glacial Chasm. You know, besides the awful cumulative upkeep of 2 life, then 4 life and everything, comes to play, sack a land. You cannot attack, but no damage. I mean, yeah, all your damage is 0, but it's killing you, man. Baton of... didn't like the card. It's got banding. Okay, this was an interesting thing. When I was in about 7th, 8th grade, this particular card, I actually remember spending a weekend building a deck around this card. I remember calling it Rudy's Music Deck. And I remember this weird card because I know it's cumulative upkeep, which is shit, but you put a music counter on target creature, and they have to pay a mana, or just it kind of pings creatures and plays music, and if you don't keep paying for it, everything dies. And I remember having some weird deck I was trying to play with that. I really liked that card. Snowfall, I feel like that's you guys watching this video right now. You know, a lot of iconic stuff, man. A lot of fun things. Oh my god. The gorgeous young lady in the beautiful, beautiful counterspell. Who did the art on that? L.A. Williams. Beautiful art. Very historical, everybody. So, as you can see, in this era, you know, remember, Magic sets didn't come out every 30, 45 days. Like, we had to spend a lot of time with the cards we had. You know, beautiful Sentinel. I actually like this card. I thought the casting cost was absurd, but it was colorless, you know. Reclamation. Our first gold rare in the video. I didn't like the card. I didn't like it when I was younger. I liked the arts because it was very kind of... I always thought it was kind of weird how this area was clear and this area was like fuzzy, like your eyes were focused on one side. I didn't like the mechanic. I thought it was overpriced and everything. We got a nice Mountain Goat back there. We got a Ray of Command, great artwork there, and that's it. So we're about a third of the way through the box in the video here, everybody. I know. I'm kind of slow rolling, having a good time. Ooh, right out of the gate. Demonic Consultation, one of the best, actually worth some money. Uncommons in the set, great card. Wall of Text, you can read it if you want there. Sigil, not that great. Talisman, I hated it. And, oh my god. Boy, this is a great Ice Age box, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Illusions of Grandeur. The world famous comes into play, gain 20 life, donate it to your opponent, they lose 20 life. The infamous, and oh, we got a printer hickey from the printer there. Look at that, we got a little printer hickey, everybody. Misfolk, that count. Oh, it's all a counter spell. Stone Rain. We got Rudy when he's older, and Rudy's Giant Horn. So definitely very iconic, very historical, everybody. Wins. Avalanche, terrible. The casting costs. 4 just to get to the X. Silver, honestly, this wasn't that bad. The 4-drop for the 2/2, there wasn't a lot of, like, back then, the power level, that was actually not terrible. Ooh. Oh. Mrs. M, that used to like Rudy in the bedroom. Oh, I forgot about this young lady. I love this card. This is actually still an iconic little legend, man. 3-drop 1/1, obviously does not untap during untap, but gain control of a creature. But if it leaves play. So I actually thought this was a really good card. I was very surprised, even in the 90s, that a card... Hey, Hydro, very nice common there. There it is again. Look at that, everybody. Oh, and a Wild Growth. See? In one Ice Age pack. Right there. No joke. In one Ice Age pack. In near mint to mint condition. You can literally get like $10 and plus commons in value because of the fact that most of these cards listed online that are $1, $2 range, they're all just destroyed. Getting minty condition of these cards there's actually some market and desirability for that. It's quite interesting, everybody. And Ice Age was one of the sets that had that. These old sets like that, you could have commons with great value. Machinist, I used to like that card. Staff of the Ages. Nothing positive. It's a garbage rare. It's a garbage rare. Sorry, everybody. COP, Hands, Filter, Rats, Rudy the Tiger. We got a little Wild Growth there. Frenzy, Wall, and Howl. Moving forward here, everybody. You know, I know we haven't talked much else. I've just been really enjoying this with you guys because it's just not something we get to do or experience in 2025. Knight. Ooh, the Frost Beast. Love the artwork. Terrible card. Scarab. Oh, Jucalops. Very high played. Very meta using. This card was a thing when it came out. It was a 6-drop kind of destroyer, but it didn't destroy enchantments. I think it was that artifacts, creatures, lands. So it pretty much didn't destroy enchantments. This was kind of a thing. People, we got some elves in there. Spider, and a disenchant. See, elves. If you notice, like every pack of commons, you're getting some sort of elves, dark ritual, disenchant, pyroblast, hydro. You're getting something interesting. Force void, love the art. Wisps, and the mind whip for the rare. Not gonna BS you guys, not a great rare. Artwork was kind of watercolor pastels style, 4-drop enchant creature. Just Rudy rides the bird in the never-ending story. Clairvoyance, nice. Dark Vanishing, COP, and some lumberjacks there. Man, good stuff, everybody. What a great day. Here we go, everybody. Drift. The Sunstone. Beautiful artwork there from the old infamous Phil. There it is, the infamous Phil. And beautiful Order of the White Shield. Dude, if you ever take to realize, this woman's helmet, can you guys see that? Her helmet is like 3 times the size of her head. What a wild thing, everybody. And, oh, was that the rare? No, the trance. I think the trance is the rare. Was this the rare? It was a terrible rare. I think it's a terrible, that trance card was always a terrible card, man. So, we are now officially halfway through this video already. I know, a little longer than we expected and everything, but I just want to enjoy it with you guys. I can't open these old Ice Age packs. They have these old, like, foil packs, man. They are, there's something to open, man. Healer. The Mind Warp. This thing as a kid, dude, that art used to freak me out, man. Justice! And our rare is the Monsoon. Not a great... It was gold. Anything gold back then was a big deal. 4-drop enchantments. Island and tap deals damage. Not a great card. The casting cost was too high. The usefulness was too limited. It just didn't have a lot of use cases. It is what it is, everybody. Alright, starting off here with a beautiful gold archer. Soul Devi. Cumulative to 1. It doesn't work. This card doesn't work. Every turn, you're draining your mana. So you can't pump it to make it stronger because it's draining your mana. It wasn't a good card. Dreams and the world famous, infamous Pentagram of the Ages from a long time ago. I never liked the card. I had some friends who tried to play with this, but the fact it costs 4 and 4 to activate, I just thought it was too expensive. Look at this. Here we go again. Pyro, Brainstorm, Shatter, great, and even a regeneration in the back there. Nice batch of commons in the back. I think a lot of these packs have like $5-10 worth of minty fresh commons in them. I think I could be wrong. Again, and nowadays maybe everything's worth nothing, but it feels like it. Icequake, Flame, and the Stunted Growth for our rare. I actually like this card. 5-drop, choose 3 cards in the hand, puts on top of live. It kind of, there are newer cards and different variants of that about kind of slowing the turn. Remora. There are newer cards with that kind of stuff, even today, where people kind of put your cards back on top of your library to kind of slow them down from drawing and getting new cards and kind of stalls them out kind of thing. That is kind of still a thing. Amulet of Queals. Not going to read it. I hated the card as a kid. Still don't like it. Artwork just makes me... It's weird. It looks like... you know why I don't like the card? Oh, okay. You know why I don't like the card? You want me to say it, everybody? It looks like the dude's holding a ball sack. There's a mouth and lips on the ball sack. I don't like the card. I don't like the card. I didn't like it as a kid. Rudy's 148 years old. I still don't like it. I still think it's garbage. Forgotten Lore. That's actually not bad, a little uncommon. The Walking Wall. Because again, you always had that one friend that didn't understand walls couldn't attack. Anarchy. Oh. The first appearance, the first edition, the first arrival of one of the most mind-warping, game-bending cards in Magic's history. If you know, you know. The Necro. We pulled the Necro at him. Absolutely awesome. Again, Brainstorm, very nice. Mystic Remora, very nice. We pulled a Necro. I don't even know if Necro in 2025, I know it's been reprinted, blah, blah, blah. But that original pack fresh, like that has to be a cool thing, man. Dance of the Dead, actually decent uncommon, everybody. Urz's Bobble, great uncommon again. Ice Flow, it's no Thawing Glaciers, everybody from Alliances. Winter's Chill. One of these old lands with the X. It's an Ed Beard artwork, though. We got Giant Growth, Disenchant again, Dark Ritual, and of course, Shaman in the back. Great batch of uncommons in that pack. There it is. There it is! There it is. The first appearance of the infamous, when this was announced as a reprint, in the uncommon slots, with the new artwork. This was a $10 to $15 uncommon when I was a kid. The Icy Manipulator remains, in my opinion, when I yell at the clouds, one of the most infamous old guy things. Pyroclasm, great uncommon. Bow, terrible uncommon. Oh, the Velt. Okay, pro tip. If you guys are new here, which most of you probably are, if it's a rare land in Ice Age, and it has the depletion counter mechanic, it's shit. That's not the land cycle that has the value. Now, Ice Age has a really good land cycle of little Hydro, and unfortunately, Dark Ritual. The depletion counter land cycle, I forgot the name of it, that land cycle, was not considered the good one. Those were kind of the crap. The other one, with the Pain lands or whatever, there's a really good land cycle in this, but that is not one. We got the old Thunder. All right, Elite Guard. Oh, not great. Mercenaries, not a fan. Still not a fan. Power Sink. We got Flare, Panic, Spider, Rudy's Kissing Your Soul when you're not home, and that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Here's our ticket. Ready, everybody? Here we go. Hold on. Here we go. What box do we get? You guys ready? Here it comes. What box in the print run did we get? Oh, God. Ice Age box, 452,021. Yes, folks. They did print that many. And they did overprint back then. It was a thing. They don't even print that many collector boxes in 2025. Golly. Slate, Melting, Venomous, Chromatic Armor. Teenage Rudy and the kids, and then everybody loved playing with this because they thought it looked cool, but I thought it was a shit card. Being honest, everybody. Sex Inspired, Tool, Rudy's... Mystic, very nice. And that's it in the back there. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting towards the end. I am hoping that we can still see one of the Pain lands in the land cycle here. Scepter. I would still like to see something like that, just, in general. All right, here we go. Cannoneers. Whoa! Ooh! I called it immediately. Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Underground River. Oh, great card. This is the knockoff version of the ABU revised, obviously Underground Sea. I still loved this card. I did not have the money. I didn't have dual lands when I was a kid. We had no money. When I could get a couple packs of Ice Age, it was a big deal. So all of my decks in middle school, high school, Rudy, I had to use the land cycle from Ice Age because these were the cheap ones. Because I couldn't get the dual lands. Clairvoyance, great card. Anything in the back there? All right. So, and we did... Oh, we got to put that up there. Honestly, not a bad box Ice Age, everybody. Although, we have not pulled Jester's Cap or Jester's Mask, everybody. Wings, Whiteout, Glaciers. Some people actually still like this card. There's even been speculation around this card. How do I say this? I always felt cards like this were dirty. The Blood Moons, the type of cards that shift all of your opponent's land to just make the game miserable, I was never a fan of playing. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Not saying it's a good or bad card. That's just my opinion on it. So we're down to the last 8 packs, everybody. We haven't even said the word reserve list in the entire video yet. Okay, War Chariot, Hurricane, Talisman, Elder Druid. I think this is a decent rare. 4-drop 2/2, but you do have to pump it with 4 to untap an artifact creature. The activation is just so high on that. That was the reason why I was always grabbing your stepsister with that. It was the activation cost and the counterspell. Stone Rain in the back there. That was the reason. See, back in the day, Wizards, for some reason, they were very sketchy on power level and casting costs. They were always very nervous to break the game. And so you always saw, especially in the 95, 96 era like this, when they did Fallen Empires, Homelands, Ice Age, in 4th edition, they were removing powerful cards. They were trying, like a lot of these good, like imagine this Druid, and instead of a 4-drop for 2/2, which is fine, but imagine instead of 4 to activate, it was only 1 to activate. Like that, what if that was just a single green mana and the 3 colors was gone? Like that would be an amazing card. But that was the thing, you know? Here we go, everybody. Oh, sorry. Sorry, the comments. Sorry. I forgot about it. I was like, wait a minute. That's the rare. Next pack here. Last order. 4-drop. It's got the goofy 1+ star, 1+ star. I don't think it's a good card. There's nothing to say about it. But I guess since we're getting towards the end of the video, it is a long video. I do want to discuss the reserve list. We haven't talked about it much at all. Oh, that pit trap. I remember that art. Beautiful. Beautiful. Icy Prism. Iconic piece of art. Nice enchantment. Dark Ritual. I thought that card cost too much to be useful. That's completely honest with you guys. I thought it just cost too much. In the close here, a couple things. Ice Age, this set contains a ton of reserve list cards that are only available in this set. We got Order of the Sacred Torch. Again, 3-drop 2/2. Pump it with a life, destroy a black spell. Decent little card. Never really... Oh, we got a Hydro. Never really been a big thing. Oh, and our Pyro and Brainstorm. You guys know how the track printing is. We got our 3 right there. If for some reason we ever return to an era where old stuff is important, older, rare, or scarcer, I mean, okay, Spectral Shield. I haven't seen that in the video. Oh! Oh, we did get the waste! A Dukar, a darker waste. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. No Jester's Cap or Mask in this video, but honestly, it doesn't matter anymore. We hit the waste! Oh my god, Elves. Giant Growth and Disenchant. We hit 2. This is, okay, so understand everybody, back in the day, getting these rare lands, like, even when I was a kid, was difficult to do. Like, you couldn't just open a box and get 10 of them. You couldn't open a collector box and get 5 rares in a pack. Like, getting these rare lands was a difficult thing to get playsets of, man. And Chaos Lord. 7-drop, 7/7 first try. Can attack the first turn, comes into play, accept the turn, comes into play, count number of permanents. That is even, I don't like it. Don't like it. I never like that card. I don't like things where your opponent can gain control of stuff. Weird things can happen, even on dice throw, D&D style. Not a fan. Never been a fan of that kind of thing. Stench of Evil, the Falcon, and a Gravebind. I actually like this card because it was a 1-drop, anything cheap, and it was instant speed. And of course, when someone's regenerating a big creature or doing something, if a green stompy deck, and you surprise them, they can't regenerate, that can be a huge... I always felt a card like this was actually really good and really undervalued. Because regeneration was a big thing back then, and a lot of people made decisions because they knew they could just regenerate and they would keep their green mana available. So not only could you fix that, they would lose their creature, you would stop that, win the combat, but then it also replaced itself. So you got another card next turn. And it was all only 1-drop at instant. I actually always thought that was a really underappreciated card. But I know, 8-drop, 7/6, Vanilla Worm. Alright, everybody, this is it. Adam, last pack in the video. I'll give you guys my closing comments and everything. Thank you all for relaxing, enjoying a beautiful 30, 40-minute video today of going through history. Ending on Rudy creeping through your bedroom in a giant arch. Not a great card. It is what it is. Honestly, Shatter, Regeneration. This was a really good video. This was an absolute fantastic. Like once every 1 to 2 years, we do an opening like this, Ice Age here. We'll do another Ice Age box opening, maybe in 2026, 2027. I don't really enjoy going through my inventory, some of these, because after 30 years, yes, they did print a lot of these things 28, 29 years ago, but it is not easy to find sealed boxes and cases of a lot of these products anymore. So what's out there is out there. A lot have been opened, stolen, lost in the mail, destroyed, natural disasters. It's just, it's a more difficult thing. And I've always felt the market is not truly understanding certain items, the rarity and the scarcity of some of these old products. And I've always felt for a very long time that even sets like 4th edition, Ice Age, Fallen Empires, Homelands, all these 90s era golden age boxes. I mean, go online, Google reserve list, full breakdown or something, and look at the cards. Look how many reserve list cards are in Ice Age. It's like Mirage. There are some of these sets, like literally half to almost all the rares in these sets for some of these old sets are reserve listed, have never been reprinted. Now, of course, a lot of them are garbage and nobody cares. That is a fact too. But we are in this future that I got wrong. I did not predict the era and the world we would be in. I never in a million years, 10 years and 6 months ago when I started this YouTube channel and I was designing everything and I kind of knew the direction, how big Magic and Pokemon the future would be. I never expected to be right that it would be big, but I didn't expect to be wrong in what category within Magic would be big. That's the thing I got wrong more than anything. I never in a million years thought we'd be 10 years later from this YouTube channel in all the money and excitement is obsessed with new stuff. And I don't see that changing. We are literally 2022, 23, 24. We are in year 4 of old vintage Magic being flat to negative since the 2021 boom. We are approaching, or actually we're in the middle of, we have had 3 full years of bear market for vintage, and we're halfway through the 4th year of a bear market for vintage Magic. We could be in, because again, the longest bear markets historically last like 3 to 6 years at most. Most bear markets, like on Wall Street and different things, are only 1 to 3 years. It is extraordinarily rare for an asset class to stay negative going past that. But I've told you all, as much as I'd like and hope that that would change, we are in a very real scenario that it could be a lost decade. This could be a 10-year period where these old things have no growth and no demand and it doesn't change. And there is always that small probability that it never becomes in style again. Nobody ever wants this stuff again, and it is truly an old guy. That's it. It is a generational thing that's over. These are facts that we all must assume. It is Schrodinger's cat situation. We have to assume all possible scenarios because we don't know. And that's the truth, everybody. Thank you for watching an amazing video. Thank you to the patron army that makes this channel possible. I hope you all have a beautiful day.